Stretching across the remote waters between Hawaii and California lies one of the most infamous environmental spectacles of our time, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. To the uninitiated, the term might conjure images of a floating island of plastic bottles and discarded straws. The reality, however, is far more complex, more insidious, and ultimately more alarming. To truly understand what's hiding in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, we must look beneath the surface, literally and figuratively, and unravel the layers of the debris, history, and consequences that define this vast marine phenomenon. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, often abbreviated as GPGP, is not a static, solid mass. Instead, it's a sprawling expanse of marine debris stretching over an area twice the size of Texas. Within its boundaries, an estimated 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic swirl in the currents, forming a diffuse soup of waste that weighs nearly 100,000 tons. The image of a floating trash island fails to capture the true nature of this patch. Most of the plastic is suspended just below the surface, drifting with the currents, dispersed over millions of square kilometers. So, what exactly is hiding within this massive accumulation? The answer begins with plastics, an invention of human ingenuity that has, over time, become one of our greatest environmental challenges. The debris within the GPGP is dominated by plastics in various forms. Microplastics, tiny fragments less than 5 millimeters in diameter, make up the overwhelming majority of pieces found here. These particles are often invisible from above, but their presence is everywhere, suspended in the water column, settling on the seafloor, and even being ingested by marine life. But not all the plastic is small. Larger items, ghost nets, fishing lines, ropes, buoys, and crates are also abundant. These remnants of industrial fishing operations and aquaculture account for the majority of the patch's mass. Fishing gear is particularly persistent, engineered to endure harsh oceanic conditions for years or even decades. These so-called ghost nets continue to trap and kill marine animals long after they've been abandoned, a phenomenon known as ghost fishing. These nets tangle with one another, creating dense mats that drift through water, ensnaring fish, turtles, dolphins, and even seabirds. It's not just the physical presence of plastic that poses a threat. As these larger items break down over time through exposure to sunlight and wave action, they fragment into ever smaller pieces, eventually becoming microplastics. These tiny shards are easily mistaken for food by marine organisms, from plankton to fish to seabirds. Microplastics can absorb toxic chemicals from the water, becoming concentrated vectors for pollutants such as pesticides, heavy metals, and persistent organic pollutants. When ingested, these toxins can enter the bodies of marine animals, moving up the food chain and eventually reaching humans who consume seafood. The origins of the plastic hiding in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch tell a story of modern industry and global consumption. Recent studies estimate that between 75% and 86% of the plastic debris here comes directly from fishing and aquaculture activities at sea. Major industrialized fishing nations, including the United States, China, Japan, and Korea, are significant contributors to this tide of waste. Discarded nets, lines, and other gear are often lost or abandoned during operations, where they become part of the patch's ever-growing mass. Land-based sources also play a considerable role. Rivers in Asia, particularly those flowing through China, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, and Thailand, carry vast amounts of plastic waste into the ocean each year. This debris is then swept up by ocean currents, joining the swirling gyres that concentrate floating plastics into patches like the GPGP. The interconnectedness of global waste streams means that a discarded plastic bag in a city thousands of miles from the Pacific can ultimately find its way into these remote waters. Yet the material hiding in the patch is not limited to plastics alone. Alongside synthetic polymers, researchers have found other debris: glass, metal, wood, and even consumer products. Shoes, toothbrushes, cigarette lighters, and children's toys have all been plucked from the patch, serving as stark reminders of modern life's reach. Some objects have traveled for decades, carrying barnacles and marine organisms that hitch rides across entire oceans. But perhaps what's most hidden, what's least visible, yet most dangerous, is the toll this debris exacts on the ocean's ecosystems. Marine life is intimately intertwined with the patch, often to its detriment. Sea turtles mistake floating plastic bags for jellyfish, ingesting them and suffering blockages or malnutrition. Seabirds pluck colorful fragments from the water, feeding them to their chicks, which often die from starvation or internal injuries. Fish and invertebrates ingest microplastics, which can lodge in their digestive tracts and introduce toxins into their bodies. On a broader scale, the microplastics and chemicals hiding within the patch disrupt the delicate balance of marine food webs. As plastic particles are consumed by plankton and small fish, toxins accumulate and biomagnify at each step up the food chain. The eventual result is a cascade of health impacts, not just for marine animals, but for humans as well. Studies have detected microplastics in seafood, table salt, and even the air we breathe. Evidence that the problem knows no boundaries. Despite the enormity of the challenge, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch has also become a focal point for innovation and hope. Organizations and researchers are working tirelessly to understand the patch's dynamics and to develop solutions for cleanup and prevention. Large-scale initiatives use engineered barriers and collection systems to capture and remove debris, while advocacy groups push for changes in global waste management, reduction of single-use plastics, and greater accountability within the fishing industry. The patch also hides lessons for humanity. It is a testament to the unintended consequences of our actions, a reminder that the ocean is not an infinite sink for waste. It calls for a new relationship with the materials we create, use, and discard, a shift towards circular economies, responsible consumption, and stewardship of the natural world. In the end, what's hiding in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is more than plastic. It is a mirror reflecting our society's relationship with the environment, a challenge that spans continents and generations. The patch is both a warning and an opportunity, a call to action to protect the oceans and the life they sustain before the hidden becomes irreversible. Hey there! If you enjoyed this video and love learning about the wonders of the ocean, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want to see more amazing content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. I've got plenty more videos exploring ocean mysteries, incredible sea creatures, and everything in between. So if this kind of content excites you, check out some of my other videos. You might discover something even more fascinating. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.